How do you talk to your spouse about money? Money is that one big topic that many couples have trouble talking about. And the primary reason? Well, for many Filipinos, it's just not in our culture to talk about money. So it's an awkward topic to talk about. But at some point in our lives, we as couples, we will have to talk about money with our partners in life. When you're deciding where to send your children to school, when you're buying a house or a car, planning a family vacation or your retirement, starting up a business. In all these things, money comes into play and financial decisions have to be made. Every couple will have their own unique way of communicating about important things. My purpose here in this episode is not to recommend how to make your financial decisions, but rather to make sure that whenever you make a financial decision, it doesn't strain your relationship. Because when you're both in agreement, well, there's no problem there. But if you want different things, if you have different investment opinions, or one person is uncomfortable with the amount of money you're spending for a particular item, or they're uncomfortable with the risk, these can strain and damage the relationship over the long term. It can build up and it's a potential time bomb. And of course, we want to avoid that. So let's get started with how do you talk to your spouse about money. Here are our 3 tips. Number 1, set a meeting. Don't make your discussion impromptu. Let's say that one of you has just come home from work and the other person just finished a lot of household chores. Both of you are tired, both of you are exhausted, and you bring up the important financial decision that you're about to make. Do you think you're going to have a healthy, productive talk? Of course not. Chances are you'll just end up arguing or you go into a fight, making your day worse than it already is. So don't talk money impromptu. Instead, schedule a meeting. Say something like, "Han, I feel that we need to talk about," then say the topic, whether that's about your house, monthly budget, vacation, business, or investments. So, for example, "Han, I feel we need to talk about our monthly budget. When would be a good time for you? Is Saturday morning okay?" Something like that. So, you just set the meeting. Alright, now here is a very important warning to setting the meeting. Make the topic as neutral as possible. Don't bring up any arguments. Just set the meeting and move on. What do I mean by that? Don't say something like, "Han, I feel that we should talk about your credit card bill." Naku! Away yan! You will just end up fighting before you even start. So, whatever topic you want to talk about, make it neutral. Don't put in any kind of blame. So, now, let's say the date of your talk comes. How do you exactly talk about it? This is my second tip, and it's for the structure on what you talk about during your discussion. Here is the structure, and write this down and remember it. Here it goes. Number 1, lead with a goal. Then, understand the feelings. Then third, decide on the how-to. So let me explain this quickly with an example. And let's say you're talking about your monthly budget. So you're now both sitting down ready to talk about the monthly budget. Here's the first thing you should say. "So I wanted to talk to you about our monthly budget because I want us to be able to save for our future while still being able to enjoy from time to time. How do you feel about that?" Now, notice here in our example that right off the bat, you don't talk about the numbers, you don't talk about your income and expenses, you lead with a bigger goal, the final outcome, being able to save for our future while still enjoying from time to time. Now, the second item you should talk about are the feelings, meaning the emotions surrounding that topic. You need to understand how each person feels about it, not what you think about it, rather how you feel about it. Now, feelings are never wrong or right. You just have them. You can never blame anyone for feeling the way they do. But understanding each other's feelings is crucial if you want to have a good relationship. Who knows, when it comes to the monthly budget, one person might be feeling so constrained and so limited like they're not important anymore, while the other person feels so much pressure that they aren't earning enough and it's making them feel insecure. Who knows? These are the things that as a couple, you both have to understand each other. That's why you talk about feelings throughout your discussion. And from there, that's where you talk about the nitty-gritty details, whether those are the numbers, the specific arguments for or against something, only when you've understood each other's feelings can you talk about exactly what to do about it. This part is where you decide. So, let me recap the sequence of how you talk about money. First, lead with a goal. Then, understand each other's feelings. Then, decide on the how-to. Then, ask again, how does this make each one feel? Rinse and repeat. If you talk about money in this way, it's going to feel amazing because you're doing it as a team. You understand each other, that even if you want different things, both of you are going to feel loved, understood, important, and cared for. Why? Because you talk about your feelings. Now, let me give you our final tip on how do you talk to your spouse about money. And this final tip is actually a list of things that I believe every couple should talk about at some point in their lives. Of course, you don't have to talk about these things all at once. It could be over a year or over multiple times. So here's the list. Here are the top 10 things I believe every couple should talk about and understand about each other. Number 1, money values. What does money represent in your life? Number 2, career goals. What do you want for yourself? Number 3, your cash flow and monthly budget. This is a look at your income and expenses. Number 4, your assets and liabilities. How much do you own and how much do you owe? Your debts and your investments. Number 5, your contingency plan. What do you do in case of emergencies like someone losing their job or getting sick or untimely death? Number 6, related to that is your healthcare and medical. What are your plans for those? Number 7, your children, their education and their values. What's your plan for those? Number 8, your relatives and in-laws. How do you deal with them? How much do you give when they need help? And so on and so forth. Number 9, your retirement. Where will you settle down? What kind of life will you have? And number 10, your charity and your legacy. What will you leave behind in this world? How will you contribute to the greater good? If this is the first time that you'll actually be talking to your partner about money, then I recommend you start talking about your money values first and work your way down this list. And that's it on how to talk to your spouse about money. Let's summarize. Number 1, remember to schedule it, and when it's time to talk, remember to, number 2, here's the structure, to lead with a goal, understand the feelings, then decide on the how-tos. And the last tip is this list on the topics which I believe every couple should talk about as it relates to money. Keep these 3 tips in mind and you'll have an amazing relationship with your partner even when it comes to money. Hey there, Jather here. Did you enjoy this episode? If you did, well, there are 2 things you can do right now to continue your journey towards financial freedom and abundance. First, subscribe here in our Pinoy Money Academy channel so that you'll get updates on our new episodes so that I can send you free training videos on everything and anything about money. Second, if you want faster results towards financial freedom and abundance, you can subscribe to our 5 Pillars of Wealth online video series. This is a free series of 3 eye-opening, life-changing videos where you'll learn about the 5 most essential concepts needed for anyone to become wealthy. And if you don't know these 5 pillars of wealth, well, you're disadvantaged in your journey. You can view this training for free online just by going to the following URL. That's pinoymoneyacademy.com/5pw. The link is displayed here on the video. Again, the link is pinoymoneyacademy.com/5pw. I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Until then, always remember that wealth is a choice, so choose to be wealthy.